Thanks, everyone. So welcome here today. We're very happy to be hosting this for the third year in a row. Let's talk a little bit about innovation as a corporate, but also what we've done over the last few years by working with startups, what we've learned from that, and where we look to take that going forward. So Lendlease is well recognised for being an innovative organisation. We're pretty well known for our industry-leading products and services, and if we're not amongst this crowd, let me just give you a couple of examples. The precinct you're standing in today, Barangaroo, is one of the most exciting urban renewal precincts around the globe. One of the reasons for that is because when it's finished, it aims to be the world's first carbon-neutral precinct. There's a lot of innovation that goes into delivering a world's first carbon-neutral precinct. For example, we generate our own power on this site. Am I back on? Yes. We're free of plastic around the precinct, and by the time that we finish, we're going to be water positive. That means we're going to recycle and create more water than we actually bring onto site. A couple of other innovations just in this area. The tower that you're standing in is one of three, known as the International Towers. And they've been recognised for being the world's healthiest workplaces. There's a lot of innovation that goes into delivering the world's healthiest workplaces. And if you walked here today past Wynyard, then you walked past a smaller building down here on your right side. It's the one that you can see up on the screen behind me. That is Australia's first timber-engineered office building. Again, a lot of innovation goes into creating that. So those are some of the examples of Lendlease's innovation within this 500-metre radius. Having said that, and having demonstrated that we do innovate all the time, we know that we need to get better and we need to get faster. And that's why we've put more support and more focus on innovation at Lendlease over the last few years than ever. And we're doing that because our customers are increasingly being impacted by big global trends. Increased urbanisation, the ageing population, changes in technology, climate change, all of these are having an impact on the communities that we operate in all around the world. And we are determined to be a part of the solution for the big things that are impacting these communities where we operate. And we know that we can't do this on our own. These are big issues that no one organisation is going to solve. And so we are very focused on going out and creating a vibrant innovation ecosystem. Startups are a very important part of that innovation ecosystem. Over the last 12 months, we've interacted with more than 250 startups. We collaborate with startups because they help us deliver more value to our customers, and they also help us improve the way that we operate. In Asia last year, our team over there collaborated with Jones Lang LaSalle to run Propel Asia. That was Singapore's first property technology accelerator, and it provided startups in that region access to over $16 trillion of investment in the property sector. That's not the only way that we've interacted with startups. We're also doing a lot of work with startups on our construction site. So the site that you see there is Paya Quarter in Singapore. The team there worked with quite a few startups. I'll show you a video later to see what they've achieved through those interactions. But as an example, one of the startups that we work with, Hollow Builder, their 360-degree cameras allowed us to build immersive views of our construction site. Those views could then be used to induct new people to site, to improve safety, and they also gave us a good view of the construction activity on that site, which meant that we didn't have to walk through the site as much and potentially disrupt operations to get a good understanding of what was taking place. Here is another team that's been working really hard with startups as well. I'll show you a quick video to see what they've achieved, and then I'll explain a little bit more about why and how they've done that.
Lendlease is enhancing the way people live, work and play by using the latest technology to create smarter communities.
We understand people expect richer, more seamless and connected experience across all aspects of their lives, especially in the places they call home.
Lendlease is bringing intelligence and automation to almost every element of their communities. From streetlights, sprinklers, motion sensors, weather stations, and even garbage bins.
By collaborating with technology companies, research institutions and the local community, our living labs are helping to create safer, healthier and more sustainable communities. We want to ensure that we remain at the very forefront of developments in smart urban technology.
If it's forecast to rain, software can adjust the irrigation schedule to save water. Our intelligent floodlights are poised to switch on as needed, while our bins are smart, using solar energy to compact their waste when they become full, and sensors to recognise when they need emptying, eliminating overflowing bins and helping keep parks and streets clean.
Information from each of the smart initiatives is fed into a dashboard, helping us track real-time performance levels, benchmark savings and efficiencies, and capture insights we simply didn't have before. Our integrated digital network is the foundation that enables all these possibilities. High-speed fibre internet, mobile coverage and public Wi-Fi ensure our community has access to a diversity of digital connections.
We came from an area where getting internet was complicated. We were in a black spot. When we found out that Opticom was available here and steady fibre network, it was definitely a tick in a box for us personally. At our local parks, there's a Wi-Fi network that is free, that is very easy to connect to.
In a busy lifestyle, it's nice knowing that everything will just work as soon as you need it.
The EV charge station is a great thing for newcomers to the area to go electric. Definitely an incentive because what it provides is a hub for electric cars. The local residents could turn around tomorrow, buy an electric car and charge here and use it for the day-to-day living. They can charge my car from flat to fully charged between 20 and 30 minutes.
Technology is helping Lendlease find new ways to create the best places. Smart communities are the future of urban development, and Lendlease is making them happen today.
So Yarra is a community we're building up in Queensland, and from start to finish, it will take us 30 years to complete that community. A lot of our products take decades to complete. So with the pace of change accelerating, the increased challenge that we have is to figure out how do we design and deliver places that are fit for life today, as well as in 30 years' time, to a future that we can't foresee yet. So one way of making sure that we deliver something that is fit for life in the future is to create a living lab, which is what this team has done at Yarra. So far the community actually has a few thousand residents living on the community. This team is constantly interacting with universities, startups, research labs. They're testing new technology to see what impact it has on the life of the residents at Yarra and what impact that might have on how we should design the community to be used when it's finished. These living labs are popping up more and more around our operations, are an excellent opportunity for us to actually form partnerships with startups going forward. Another place that we have a living lab is actually a community that was finished some time ago. So right now, in one of our retirement living communities in South Australia, we're testing an autonomous vehicle. We're using it to transport our retirees from one end of the village to the next. And we're very excited about this because we're looking all the time to see how we can improve the experience for our retirees. Through this particular trial, we may find how to address one of the biggest pain points for our retirees, which is the ability to have independence and freedom and mobility into your old age. If we're able to crack that, it means that people can remain in that retirement village for longer and aged amongst their friends, something very important to the experience of our retirees. So through these interactions with startups over the last 12 months and beyond that, we've learned a lot. We've learned, first of all, that Lendlease, because of our scale, because of our geographic spread, because of range of products and services that we deliver, Lendlease is a really good platform for startups to achieve what Albert was talking about, which is test products and test for market fit and see whether or not those products truly have an impact on the end user and truly improve the way that a construction company like ours operates. We've also learned that once we've found a good match, because of our geographic spread, we're in 17 of the biggest cities globally, we are a good platform for scaling products. We've also learned that when we work with startups, we need to be much clearer than we probably have been in the past on why we are working with startups. I'll go back to something Albert said. For us, the relationships are not so much about providing VC funding to help startups going forward. We are there to provide this platform that I just talked about, to test your products, to prove market fit, and potentially a platform to scale. And we do that around a number of very specific areas. Yes, we innovate around a lot of different things, but these focus areas for innovation have been built into our strategy. They're very high level, and the team is working hard at the moment to go out and get a lot clearer and sharper around the specific problems that we're looking to solve. And we hope that by being clearer about those problems with our startup partners, we can actually find matches between our needs and the partners or startups who are working on these types of products and ultimately have better relationships going forward. We've also learned that we have to change the way that we work in order to have better relationships with startups. It is absolutely true we are a corporate. We have processes and decision-making procedures that are in place to protect the organisation from risk, to protect the brand, and to comply with our ASX requirements. However, we are looking at implementing agile methodology to significant parts of the organisation, which will improve and make our decision-making faster. It will make our progress faster and help really build us more in step with the way that startups work. Another thing that we're working on, and again it was mentioned by the panel earlier, is we're looking at setting up new sets of contracts. Because our traditional relationships, we've partnered with people for a long time. You don't deliver a precinct like this on your own. So we're not unaccustomed to partnerships and JVs and such, but they're with very different organisations. And so we're developing a suite of contracts that will help us establish the right type of relationships that we're more likely to have with startups than we have had with our traditional partners going forward. Before I finish, I'm going to show you a video from our Singapore team. I promised that I would, so that you would see what types of outcomes and improvements in terms of design and delivery on site we've been able to achieve by partnering with startups and technology companies. As I said, and I hope you can see, we are very focused on being a better partner, creating opportunities for actually to work better with startups, because we know that by working with startups, we're going to get access to new technologies, new products, new business models, and things that will help us deliver even more value to our customers and help us improve the way that we work. So I'll leave you with this video and give credit to our team in Singapore, just showing off some of the fantastic achievements they've been able to make through the partnerships. That work was started by our team over in Asia. When we found that we obviously had to put some agreements in place with startups. It turned out that our usual limits of liability of $30 million and a whole range of other typical clauses that we put into our contracts are just not applicable in this situation. So contracts were developed to help that relationship over there. They're being brought over here. The legal environments are relatively similar between Singapore and Australia. And we're at the moment just revising those and building on those. And so it will be reflective of the fact that those types of terms of liabilities, the risk is different by working with a startup than it is by working with some of our design partners and such, but they will be reflective of the work that we do with the startups. So if we have a startup that's going into a working construction environment, then we need to know that whatever we're testing isn't going to cause damage or harm to anybody, and therefore we need terms and conditions that will be applicable to that type of relationship. If we're doing something else, then we can have different types of terms and conditions. So it all depends on the stage of the relationship we are at with a partner and testing that product. When we do have them, we are as eager to get them as anybody else. We will be sure that they're available to the partners that we work with going forward.
Hey, my name is Bharat from Appamate. Thank you for your presentation. It was really insightful.
You're very welcome.
And great to see what you guys are doing with startups. So if a startup wants to approach you with your technology, do you guys have a platform or a website, or what's the process to approach Lendlease for a startup?
We're getting much more coordinated around that at the moment. We are an entrepreneurial organisation, which means we don't have a lot of command and control out there. So you may be approached as a startup by any number of our businesses. In fact, quite a few of them have been, and the relationships that I'm talking about here were not controlled by the innovation team. The innovation team, nonetheless, is working on having a much more refined and focused vehicle approach to actually going out to startups, being clear, as I mentioned earlier, around what we want to drive innovation around. And organising, I'm not quite sure yet whether it's an internal accelerator or some kind of a model, so that we have focus periods of startup relationships around particular and specific problems we're going out there with. It's something we're developing right now. We will have it ready in a few months' time. And when we do, we plan to announce it big so that people understand and know that it's there and know how to actually access it. At the moment, the process is to go through the procurement and IT team. We do have a person specifically focused on IT procurement for innovation. So if you want to see me afterward, I can put you in touch with who that is.